Hello and welcome to our English podcast. If you're learning English at AB2 level and want to improve your listening and speaking skills, you're in the right place. In this podcast, you'll hear natural and clear English spoken by one person, just like in real-life conversations or storytelling. Each episode is around 4 to 5 minutes long and covers everyday topics, ideas, and reflections to help you learn new words, improve your pronunciation, and get used to the rhythm of English. So whether you're at home, commuting, or taking a walk, just press play, relax, and enjoy learning English in a fun and simple way. Let's get started to talk. Episode 1, Living with Less, The Minimalist Lifestyle. Hello and welcome to the podcast. Today, I want to talk about minimalism. You've probably heard this word before. It means living with less. But why would anyone choose to live with fewer things? In a world that encourages us to buy more, own more, and collect more, minimalism seems a bit strange. However, for many people it brings peace and clarity. The idea behind minimalism is that we don't need a lot of stuff to be happy. In fact, having too many things can cause stress. Think about your home. Is it full of items you rarely use? Maybe a closet full of clothes you don't wear or shelves full of gadgets you don't touch. Minimalists believe that by removing the unnecessary, we can focus on what really matters: relationships, experiences, and personal growth. When I first tried minimalism, I started with my wardrobe. I gave away clothes I hadn't worn in over a year. Then I looked at my kitchen. I realized I had 3 can openers. Why? The process helped me realize how much we buy out of habit, not need. And the result? A cleaner space, less time spent organizing, and more mental space. Minimalism doesn't mean owning nothing. It means owning what you truly need and value. It's about being intentional. And honestly, it has improved my life. If you're curious, just start small, clean out a drawer, donate old books. You might be surprised how freeing it feels. Episode 2, The Power of Saying No. Saying no can be one of the hardest things to do, especially if you're a people pleaser like me. For a long time I said yes to everything: extra work, social events, favors. I didn't want to disappoint anyone. But over time I began to feel tired, overwhelmed, and even resentful. That's when I learned that saying no is not selfish. It's a form of self-care. When you always say yes to others, you are saying no to yourself. You're giving away your time and energy until there's nothing left. It took me a while to get comfortable with it. The first few times I felt guilty. But then I noticed something. People respected my boundaries. And more importantly, I started respecting myself. Saying no doesn't mean being rude. You can be kind and clear. You can say, "Thanks for the invitation, but I need to rest." Or, "I'm sorry, I don't have time right now." You don't need long explanations or excuses. Today I say yes to things that align with my goals and values, and no to things that don't. And trust me, life feels a lot lighter. Episode 3, Why Walking is Underrated. We live in a fast world. Fast food, fast transport, fast internet. But sometimes slowing down is exactly what we need. That's why I want to talk about walking. Not as exercise, but as a daily habit that can change your life. Walking is free. It doesn't need equipment, training, or a gym. But its benefits are huge. When I go for a walk, especially without a phone, I notice things. The shape of the clouds, the sound of birds, the feel of the breeze. Calms my mind. Walking also boosts creativity. Some of my best ideas came while walking aimlessly. There's something magical about moving your body and letting your mind wander. It's also good for your health, of course, both physical and mental. Studies show that a daily walk can reduce stress, improve sleep, and even help with anxiety. If you're feeling stuck, stressed, or just tired, try a 15-minute walk. No destination, no goal. Just walk and breathe. You might be surprised at how much it helps. Episode 4. Escaping the comparison trap. Have you ever looked at someone's social media and felt bad about your own life? I have. Many times. That's the comparison trap. We compare our everyday reality with someone else's highlight reel, and it makes us feel small. The truth is, people post their best moments. Beautiful vacations, happy smiles, clean homes. But behind every photo is a real person with struggles, just like you. I've learned to take social media less seriously. I still enjoy it, but I don't let it control how I feel. If I see a post that makes me feel jealous or unworthy, I remind myself, this is just one photo, not the whole story. It also helps to take breaks. A few days without social media can feel like a vacation for your brain. You reconnect with your real life, your real friends, and Episode 5. Why we procrastinate. Description: a deep dive into the reasons behind procrastination and how to overcome it. Procrastination. We all do it. Maybe you put off studying, cleaning, or making a phone call. You tell yourself, I'll do it later, and then you don't. But why? One reason is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not doing something perfectly. So instead of starting, we wait. Another reason is overwhelm. The task feels too big, so we freeze. I've been there. When I have a big project, I sometimes waste hours doing nothing just because I don't know where to begin. What helps me is breaking it down. Instead of thinking I have to write a full essay, I think, let me write one sentence. And then another. Also, I set a timer for 10 minutes. Just 10. It tricks my brain into starting. And once I start, I usually keep going. Be kind to yourself. Everyone procrastinates sometimes. The key is to notice it, understand it, and take small steps forward. Episode 6. The Power of Morning Routines. Description: how starting your day with intention can change everything. Let's talk about mornings. Some people love them, others hate them. But one thing is clear. How you start your morning can shape your entire day. For a long time, I used to hit the snooze button multiple times. I would rush out of bed, skip breakfast, and feel behind from the moment I woke up. My whole day felt chaotic. Then I learned about morning routines. I don't mean something strict or complicated. I'm talking about a few simple habits that help you feel calm, focused, and ready. Now I wake up a bit earlier. I drink water, open the window to get some fresh air, and take 5 minutes to stretch or breathe. Then I write down my top 3 goals for the day. It doesn't take long, but it changes everything. I feel in control. My mind is clearer. And because I start the day with intention, I make better choices all day long. You don't have to copy anyone else's routine. Just find what works for you. The goal is not to be perfect, but to be present. Try it tomorrow. Give yourself 10 extra minutes and use them just for you. You'll see the difference. Episode 7. Small Talk, Big Connections. Description: how casual conversation can open unexpected doors in your personal and professional life. Do you enjoy small talk? You know, those short conversations about the weather, your weekend, or a favorite movie. Some people find it boring or fake. But small talk is actually a powerful social tool. When I moved to a new city, I didn't know anyone. I felt lonely. I didn't know how to start a conversation. But then I realized something. Small talk is the beginning of every big connection. Think about it. Before we become friends or colleagues with someone, we start with a smile, a joke, or a comment about the day. These tiny moments help build trust. Now, when I'm in a coffee shop, I say, "Nice day, isn't it?" to the person next to me. At the bus stop, I might comment on someone's book or ask if they know a good local restaurant. These little moments lead to real conversations, and sometimes even friendships. Small talk isn't empty. It's the first step. So don't be afraid of it. Practice it. Use it. It's a bridge to something bigger. Episode 8. Digital Detox Unplugged to Recharge. Description: why taking breaks from screens can improve your focus, mood, and sleep. When was the last time you spent a full day without looking at your phone, computer, or TV? For most of us, it's hard to imagine. We live in a digital world, and that's okay. Technology brings many benefits, but sometimes we need a break. That's where a digital detox comes in. Last year, I tried something different. One weekend, I turned off all screens, no phone, no internet, no social media. First, I felt strange. I kept reaching for my phone out of habit. But then something amazing happened. I started noticing small things. The sound of birds outside, the taste of my food, the way my mind slowed down. I slept better that night. Since then, I take small digital breaks every day. No phone during meals. No screens 1 hour before bed. And one screen-free Sunday each month. These changes help me feel more present, more focused, and less anxious. You don't have to disappear from the internet. Just take back control. Try it for a few hours. Unplug to recharge. Episode 9. The Joy of Learning Something New. Description: learning a new skill is not just useful, it also makes us happier and more confident. When was the last time you learned something new just for fun? Not because of school or work, but because you were curious. I believe that learning keeps us young. It keeps our minds active and our spirits excited. A few months ago, I started learning how to play the guitar. I'm not great at it, but I enjoy it. And that's enough. When we try something new, we challenge our brain. We step out of our comfort zone. At first, it can be frustrating. But with time, we improve and we grow. You don't need to become an expert. You just need to start. Maybe you want to try cooking, painting, coding, or even dancing. There are so many free tools online, videos, tutorials, apps. And every time you try, you're investing in yourself. Learning something new adds color to life. So go ahead, pick one small thing and give it a try this week. You might fall in love with it. Episode 10. Being alone versus feeling lonely. Description: understanding the difference and learning how to enjoy your own company. Being alone and feeling lonely are not the same. This is something I learned the hard way. There were times when I was surrounded by people but still felt lonely. And other times when I was completely alone but felt calm and happy. Loneliness is not about who is around you. It's about how you feel inside. The key is learning how to be comfortable with yourself. Spending time alone can be powerful. You get to know yourself better. You can reflect, rest, and recharge. I now enjoy solo walks, quiet dinners, and reading in silence. These moments help me connect with myself. Of course, we all need connection. Talking with others, laughing, sharing, it's human. But being alone sometimes is also healthy. If you feel lonely, reach out to someone. But if you're just alone, try embracing it. Use that time to grow, explore, and listen to your inner voice. Episode 11. Overthinking: how to quiet your mind. Description: learn how to stop the mental noise and find clarity in daily life. Have you ever replayed a conversation in your head over and over? Or imagined every possible outcome of a situation, even before it happens? That's overthinking. And it's exhausting. I used to do this a lot. Before a meeting, I'd imagine all the things that could go wrong. After a simple text message, I'd wonder if I said the wrong thing. My brain just wouldn't stop. Overthinking feels like trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist yet. It keeps you stuck in your mind, not in the present. So how can we deal with it? First, notice when it happens. Awareness is the first step. Then, try this: write your thoughts down. Seeing them on paper makes them less scary. Also ask yourself, is this something I can control? If not, let it go. And most importantly, take action. Even a small step forward helps stop the cycle. When you move, your mind quiets. Overthinking steals our time and peace. Let's learn to notice it, name it, and gently return to now. Episode 12, The Magic of Gratitude. Description: how a simple daily habit can shift your perspective and improve your mood. Gratitude is more than saying thank you. It's a way of seeing the world. And it has changed my life. There was a time when I focused on what I didn't have. I wanted more money, more success, more everything. And the more I chased, the more unhappy I felt. Then I started a gratitude journal. Every evening, I wrote down 3 things I was thankful for. Sometimes they were big, like a new job or a friend's support. Other times, small, a warm cup of tea or a kind smile from a stranger. This habit changed my mindset. I started noticing the good around me. My mood improved. I became more patient, more hopeful. Gratitude doesn't erase problems, but it helps you face them with a stronger heart. Try it tonight. Write 3 things. Do it for a week. You'll be amazed. Episode 13, Learning to Listen. Description: real listening is rare and powerful. Here's how to do it better. Listening seems simple, right? But real listening is actually a skill. Most of us listen to reply, not to understand. We wait for our turn to speak. We interrupt, or we get distracted by our phones. But when someone truly listens to you, you feel it. You feel seen. You feel heard. And that's powerful. I've learned to pause before responding. I try to focus on the speaker's words, tone, and even body language. I ask questions instead of giving advice. Good listening builds trust. It improves relationships at work, in families, and between friends. So next time someone speaks to you, try this. Put away your phone. Make eye contact. Don't rush to answer. Just listen. You'll be surprised how much closer you feel. Episode 14, Saying Yes to New Experiences. Description: why stepping out of your comfort zone can lead to growth and unforgettable memories. Have you ever turned down an invitation because you felt nervous? Or avoided something new because it felt risky? I have. Many times. But every great memory I have started with a yes. The time I traveled alone. The time I joined a class I knew nothing about. The time I spoke up when I was afraid. New experiences are uncomfortable at first. That's normal. But they stretch us. They teach us. And often they bring joy we never expected. You don't have to do something extreme. Just say yes to something small. A new food, a different route home, a spontaneous idea. Life opens up when we're open to it. So next time opportunity knocks, say yes. You might discover a new part of yourself. Episode 15, The Value of Boredom. Description: in a world full of distractions, boredom is actually a gift. Boredom feels uncomfortable. We try to avoid it with phones, shows, games, and endless scrolling. But what if boredom isn't the enemy? When I was younger, I hated being bored. But now I see it differently. Boredom is space. It's silence. And in that silence, creativity grows. Some of my best ideas come when I'm bored, waiting in line, walking alone, or just sitting without a screen. My mind starts to wander. And that's when magic happens. Boredom is your brain telling you, I'm ready for something real, something meaningful. So next time you feel bored, don't reach for your phone right away. Let yourself sit with it. Observe your thoughts. You might find inspiration hiding in the quiet. Episode 16, Why We Need Hobbies. Description: Having a hobby isn't a waste of time. It's essential for a balanced life. Let's talk about hobbies. In today's busy world, it's easy to think that hobbies are a luxury, something extra. But the truth is, they're a basic need for a happy and balanced life. When I was working full-time and studying, I stopped doing the things I loved. I told myself I didn't have time. But over time I felt tired, empty, and even a little lost. Then I picked up painting again. I didn't paint well, but that wasn't the point. The point was joy. Hobbies give us space to relax, to play, to explore ourselves without pressure. Whether it's baking, gardening, knitting, or skateboarding, find something that makes you smile. You don't need to be good at it. You just need to enjoy it. Hobbies feed your soul. Make time for them. You'll feel more alive. Episode 17. The Art of Letting Go. Description. Not everything is meant to stay. Learn how letting go can bring peace and growth. Letting go is one of the hardest things in life. We hold on to people, jobs, dreams, even habits because they feel familiar, even when they no longer help us. But holding on too long can keep us stuck. It's like carrying a heavy bag that we don't need anymore. I once stayed in a job that made me unhappy because I was afraid of the unknown. When I finally left, I felt afraid but also free. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means making space for something new. It means trusting that life has more to offer. So if something or someone is no longer good for you, it's okay to let go. You deserve peace. You deserve to grow. Episode 18. Learning from Failure. Description. Failure is not the end. It's a teacher in disguise. No one likes to fail. It feels embarrassing, disappointing, and sometimes painful. But failure is not your enemy. It's your teacher. Think about the first time you learned to ride a bike. Did you fall? Probably. But you didn't stop. You got up and tried again. Now imagine if we treated all failures like that. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," we say, "What can I learn from this?" Some of my biggest lessons came from moments of failure. I didn't get the job. The project didn't work. I said the wrong thing. But each time I learned something important. Failure means you're trying. It means you're alive. Keep failing. Keep learning. Keep going. Episode 19. Finding your focus in a distracted world. Description. Learn how to train your attention and reclaim your time. It's harder than ever to focus these days. Notifications, messages, videos, endless scrolling. Our minds are always pulled in different directions. But focus is a superpower. When you can give your full attention to one thing, you become more productive, more creative, and more present. I used to multitask all the time. I thought I was getting more done, but really I was doing everything poorly. Now I try to do one thing at a time. Just one. I also use something called the Pomodoro technique. You work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Sounds simple, but it really helps. Try it. Close your apps. Set a timer. Do just one thing. You'll be surprised how much calmer and more effective you feel. Episode 20. The Beauty of Slow Living. Description. Why doing less and doing it mindfully can lead to more happiness. Fast is not always better. In fact, sometimes slow is exactly what we need. Slow living is about doing things at your own pace. It's about being present in the moment instead of rushing through life. I used to fill every hour of my day. Meetings, emails, errands, calls. I thought that being busy meant being successful. But I was always tired. Now I choose slow. I eat without watching a screen. I walk without checking my phone. I breathe deeply between tasks. And guess what? Life feels richer, more peaceful. more real. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just start with one small thing. Be present. Be slow. And see how life responds. Episode 21, The Fear of Missing Out, FOMO. Description: learn how to manage the fear of being left out and focus on what truly matters. Have you ever looked at social media and felt like everyone else was having more fun, more success, or a better life than you? That's called FOMO, the fear of missing out. It's a modern problem. We scroll through photos of parties we weren't invited to, vacations we can't afford, or achievements we haven't reached. And we start to feel like our life isn't enough. But here's the truth: what we see online is not the full story. It's carefully selected, filtered, edited. Everyone has struggles, even if they don't post them. When I feel FOMO, I remind myself to focus on what I do have: real friends, a peaceful evening, a good book. Gratitude helps. I've also learned to enjoy the present moment instead of constantly thinking about what I might be missing. Life is happening now. Don't miss it by chasing someone else's highlight reel. Episode 22. Time is your most valuable resource. Description: money can be earned back. Time cannot. Spend it wisely. We all get 24 hours in a day, no matter how rich, famous, or talented we are. Time is the great equalizer. And yet, many of us waste it without even noticing. I used to fill my calendar with meetings, tasks, and social events. I thought being busy meant being important. But I wasn't happy, I was tired. Then I started asking myself, is this the best use of my time? That question changed everything. Now I protect my time. I say no more often. I leave space to rest, to think, to just be. And I use my energy on what really matters: relationships, learning, health. Time is your life. Be careful who and what you give it to. Spend it like it's gold, because it is. Episode 23, Finding Joy in the Ordinary. Description: you don't need a perfect life to feel joy. Just pay attention to the little things. We often think happiness is something we'll find someday, after the promotion, after the vacation, after we lose weight or earn more money. But real joy? It's hiding in the small, ordinary moments. A warm coffee on a cold morning. A song that brings back memories. Laughing at a silly joke. Watching the sunset. When I started noticing these things, life felt different. I didn't need something big to feel happy. I just needed to pay attention. Joy isn't rare. It's everywhere, we just forget to look. So take a moment. Breathe. Look around. There is beauty in your everyday life. You just have to see it. Episode 24, Why Self-Talk Matters. Description: the way you speak to yourself shapes how you feel, act, and live. You talk to yourself every day, even if you don't realize it. And the words you choose matter. When I made mistakes, I used to say things like, "I'm so stupid," or "I can't do anything right." It felt normal. But over time, those words became beliefs. I started to believe I wasn't capable. Then I learned about self-talk. I began replacing those harsh words with kinder ones. I started saying, "I made a mistake, but I'm learning," or "This is hard, but I'm trying." Felt strange at first, but slowly my confidence grew. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a close friend. Be kind. Be supportive. Encourage yourself. Because you are listening even when no one else is. Episode 25, How to Rest Without Feeling Guilty. Description: rest is not laziness, it's essential. Learn to honor your body and mind. In a world that celebrates hustle and productivity, rest can feel like weakness, like failure. But the truth is, rest is a need, not a luxury. I used to feel guilty when I took a nap, watched a movie, or spent a day doing nothing. I thought I should always be working, creating, achieving. But then I burned out. My body and mind forced me to stop. That's when I learned, you can't pour from an empty cup. Now I rest with intention. I schedule breaks. I listen to my body. And I don't apologize for taking care of myself. You don't need to earn rest. You deserve it, simply because you're human. Rest is not wasted time. It's where healing, clarity, and energy are born. Episode 26. Being yourself in a world full of pressure. Description: how to stay true to who you are, even when society pushes you to be someone else. We live in a world where we're constantly told who to be by social media, by family, by trends. Be more successful. Be more attractive. Be more popular. But what if being yourself is enough? I used to change how I spoke, dressed, and acted depending on who I was with. I thought fitting in would make people like me more. But all it did was make me feel lost. When I started being honest about who I really was, my values, my opinions, even my awkward jokes, I found the right people. I felt more confident. It takes courage to be yourself. But it's worth it. Because at the end of the day, you have to live with you. And pretending gets heavy. So take off the mask. Speak your truth. Trust that the right people will love the real you. Episode 27. Why we all need to be bored sometimes. Description: in a fast-paced, hyper-connected world, boredom is a hidden treasure. We live in a world where every moment can be filled. Scrolling, watching, clicking, swiping. There's always something to do. But what happens when we do nothing? First, boredom feels annoying, empty. But if you sit with it, boredom turns into creativity. It becomes the space where new ideas are born. I've noticed that when I'm bored walking, waiting, lying in bed, my mind starts to wander. And sometimes it leads to beautiful places. Memories, dreams, ideas. We need boredom. It's our brain's way of taking a breath, of slowing down. So don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. Boredom is not a problem. It's a pause and sometimes a gift. Episode 28. The importance of forgiving yourself. Description: everyone makes mistakes. Healing begins when you stop punishing yourself. Have you ever replayed something you did wrong over and over in your mind? A decision, a comment, a failure? I have. And it hurt. We're often kind to others, but hard on ourselves. We expect perfection. And when we fall short, we punish ourselves with guilt and regret. But here's the truth: you are human. You will make mistakes. And that's okay. What matters is what you do next. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning and letting go. It means saying, I did my best with what I knew then. Now I know better. Be gentle with yourself. The past is done. You deserve to move forward. Episode 29. Building better habits, one step at a time. Description: you don't need to change everything at once. Start small and stay consistent. We often wait for the perfect time to make a change. A new week, a new month, a new year. And we create big goals: eat healthy, exercise daily, wake up at 5 a.m. But big goals can feel overwhelming. And when we slip even once, we give up. What really works? Starting small. Just 5 minutes of reading a day. A short walk. 1 glass of water. Tiny habits are powerful because they grow. I used to think I needed motivation. But I learned that habits are stronger than motivation. You don't have to feel inspired every day. You just have to keep going. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Pick one small thing. Start today. Your future self will thank you. Episode 30, Learning to Say, I don't know. Description, admitting you don't have all the answers is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. We often feel pressure to have all the answers, to be confident, certain, in control. But sometimes the smartest thing you can say is, I don't know. I used to be afraid to admit that. I thought people would think I was stupid or unprepared. But the opposite happened. People respected my honesty. Saying I don't know opens the door to learning. It invites curiosity. It shows humility. Nobody knows everything, not teachers, not parents, not leaders. We're all figuring it out as we go. So next time you don't have the answer, just say it. Then say, let's find out. That's where real growth begins. Episode 31. How to be more present. Description. Your life is happening now, not in the past or future. Learn how to live it fully. Have you ever walked somewhere and realized you don't remember the journey? Or eaten a meal without really tasting it? That's what happens when we're not present. Our minds are often in the past, regretting, remembering, or in the future, planning, worrying. But real life is happening right now. I've been trying to be more present. To notice the sound of rain, the taste of food, the feel of my breath. It's not always easy, but it changes everything. Presence brings peace. It helps us enjoy simple things, connect better with people, and worry less. Start with something small. Next time you're drinking coffee, just drink coffee. No phone, no multitasking. Just be there. Your life is made of moments. Don't miss them while chasing what's next. Episode 32. You don't need to have it all figured out. Description. It's okay not to know your future. Life unfolds step by step. One of the biggest pressures we face is the idea that we should have it all figured out. A clear plan. A dream job. Perfect path. But most people don't. Even those who look like they do are just doing their best, one step at a time. When I was younger, I felt lost because I didn't know what I wanted. I thought I was behind. But now I see life isn't a race. It's a journey. You grow. You change. Your path twists and turns. And that's okay. It's fine not to have all the answers. Just stay curious. Keep learning. And trust that with each step, the way forward becomes clearer. Episode 33, Choosing Kindness in a Harsh World. Description, kindness is not weakness, it's a quiet strength the world desperately needs. Kindness might seem small, but it has huge power. In a world that often feels cold or fast or angry, kindness stands out. It doesn't have to be dramatic. A smile. A thank you. A helping hand. A message saying, I'm thinking of you. I once helped a stranger pick up their dropped groceries. We didn't speak much, but I remember the look of relief on their face. That moment stayed with me. Kindness creates connection. It lifts people up. And often it comes back to you when you least expect it. You never know what someone is going through. Your kind word might be the best part of their day. So offer it freely. Episode 34, What to Do When You Feel Stuck. Description, feeling stuck is part of life. The key is not to stay there. We all feel stuck sometimes. Maybe in a job, a relationship, a routine, or even in our own thoughts. It's a heavy feeling. Like running in place. I've felt that way more than once. Like nothing was changing, no matter what I did. But slowly I learned, you don't have to solve everything at once. You just need to move one small step. Call someone. Change your environment. Write in a journal. Go outside. Shake things up, even just a little. Movement creates momentum. And with momentum, clarity follows. You don't need a big breakthrough. Just a little shift. That's how you get unstuck. Episode 35, The Power of Silence. Description: in a noisy world, silence can be your greatest source of clarity and calm. Noise is everywhere: notifications, traffic, voices, news, opinions. We get used to it. But deep down, our minds crave quiet. I used to fill every moment with sound. Music, podcasts, background noise. But when I finally sat in silence, something changed. At first, it felt uncomfortable, but then peaceful. I could hear my own thoughts. I could feel what I'd been avoiding. Silence helps you connect with yourself. It calms the nervous system. It makes space for creativity and reflection. Try 5 minutes of silence today. No distractions. Just breathe and listen. You might be surprised by what you hear inside. Episode 36. Why perfectionism holds you back. Description: trying to be perfect can stop you from starting. Learn how to embrace imperfection. Perfection sounds like a good thing, right? Doing things well. Making no mistakes. Always being your best. But in reality, perfectionism often does more harm than good. I used to delay projects for weeks because I wanted them to be just right. I wouldn't share ideas unless they were perfect in my head. But here's the thing: perfection doesn't exist. And chasing it only leads to stress and procrastination. When I let go of perfection, I actually started finishing things. Sharing more. Learning more. Growing more. Done is better than perfect. Progress is better than perfection. Mistakes are part of learning. Don't let perfectionism stop your voice, your creativity, or your joy. Be brave enough to be imperfect. Episode 37, How to Build Confidence. Description: confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. Confidence can look like magic. Some people seem naturally bold and sure of themselves. But the truth is, confidence is not a gift. It's a habit. I didn't always feel confident. I doubted myself, stayed quiet, avoided risk. But with small steps, I started building it. I spoke up in meetings. I tried new things even if I felt nervous. I learned from my mistakes. And each time my confidence grew a little more. Confidence isn't about being the loudest. It's about trusting yourself, even when you're unsure. So start small. Celebrate little wins. Keep showing up. Confidence grows when you act, not when you wait. Episode 38. Letting go of what others think. Description: you can't control other people's opinions, but you can control your own peace. One of the hardest things to do is stop caring about what others think. But it's also one of the most freeing things. I used to replay conversations, wonder if I sounded weird, worry if people liked me. It was exhausting. And worst of all, it held me back from being myself. The truth is, people will always have opinions. Some will love you. Some won't. And that's okay. You can't control their thoughts. But you can control how much power you give those thoughts. When I started focusing on my values instead of approval, I felt stronger. Braver. Be kind. Be respectful. But be real. Live for your truth, not their judgment. Episode 39, The Importance of Play. Description: play isn't just for children, it's a vital part of a healthy, creative life. When was the last time you played? Not for work, not for results, just for fun? As adults, we often forget how to play. Life becomes serious: meetings, bills, deadlines. But play is not childish. It's essential. Play helps us relax, connect, create. It brings laughter. It heals stress. It reminds us of who we are. I started playing again through silly dance breaks, doodling, or trying a fun game with friends. It didn't solve my problems, but it made life lighter. So give yourself permission to be playful. Sing out loud. Try something silly. Life is too short to be serious all the time. Episode 40, You Are Not Behind. Description: everyone has their own pace. You're not late, you're on your path. It's easy to look around and feel like you're behind. Someone is married. Someone owns a house. Someone just got promoted. And you? You feel like you're still figuring things out. I've been there. I've compared my journey with others and felt like I was failing. But here's the truth: there is no one right timeline. Life is not a race. It's not a checklist. We all move at different speeds in different directions. And that's beautiful. You are not late. You are not behind. You are on your own path. And it's unfolding exactly as it should. Trust the process. Keep going. Your time will come. Episode 41, Learning to Trust the Process. Description: growth takes time. Be patient with where you are. Sometimes we want results fast. We start a new habit, a new job, a new project, and expect success right away. But real growth? It's slow. It's messy. It's invisible at first. I remember learning a new language. For months, I felt like I wasn't making progress. I couldn't speak smoothly. I made mistakes. But then one day, I had a full conversation, and it felt natural. That's how progress works. You don't always see it happening, but it's there. You're growing every time you show up. Trust the process. Even if it feels slow. Even if it's hard. You are becoming who you need to be step by step. Episode 42. The energy of the people around you. Description: the people in your life affect how you feel. Choose wisely. Have you ever noticed how some people leave you feeling inspired, while others leave you drained? That's not an accident. Energy is contagious. The people we spend time with shape our mindset. If you're around constant negativity, it's hard to stay hopeful. But if you're around kindness and encouragement, everything feels lighter. I've learned to pay attention to how people make me feel, not just what they say. You don't have to cut everyone off, but you can set boundaries. You can spend more time with those who lift you up. Protect your energy. Choose your company like you choose your food, something that nourishes you. Episode 43. You're allowed to change. Description: growth often means outgrowing who you used to be. Have you ever felt guilty for changing? Maybe you used to enjoy something and now you don't. Or you used to believe something but your views have shifted. That's normal. That's growth. I used to force myself to stay the same because I didn't want to confuse people. But inside I was changing. And I finally realized it's okay to evolve. You're allowed to grow. To change your mind. To become someone new. That doesn't make you fake. It makes you human. Don't shrink to fit your past. Become who you're meant to be now. Episode 44. Taking breaks without quitting. Description: rest doesn't mean failure. Sometimes it's the smartest choice. When you're working hard on something, your job, your goals, your health, it can feel scary to pause. You might think, if I stop, I'll lose momentum. But I've learned that taking a break is not quitting. It's listening to your body. It's giving your mind time to reset. I once worked nonstop for months, no weekends, no rest. And then I crashed. I couldn't continue. That's when I learned. Rest is part of progress. If you need a break, take it. Come back stronger. Breaks are not a sign of weakness. They're a sign of wisdom. Episode 45. How to Start Over. Description: Every ending is a chance to begin again, braver and wiser. Starting over can feel scary. Whether it's after a breakup, a career change, or a personal setback, the unknown can feel huge. But starting over is also powerful. It's a clean page, a second chance, a new chapter. I've had to start over more than once. Each time I thought I was lost, but each time I discovered something new. About myself, about life, about strength. Don't be afraid to begin again. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from experience. New beginnings often disguise themselves as painful endings. Trust what's next. Episode 46. The Beauty of Simplicity. Description: sometimes less really is more. In a world full of noise, complexity, and pressure to do more, simplicity feels like a breath of fresh air. I used to believe that a good life meant having more clothes, more plans, more goals. But over time, I realized that peace lives in simplicity. A simple morning, a quiet meal, an uncluttered room, a clear to-do list. Simplicity helps us focus. It helps us breathe. It reminds us of what truly matters. You don't have to live a minimal life to enjoy simplicity. Just ask, what can I remove today to feel lighter? One thing is enough. Choose simple. Choose peace. Episode 47. Staying hopeful in difficult times. Description: hope isn't ignoring reality. It's believing things can still improve. Life isn't always easy. We all face loss, stress, change, and uncertainty. And in those moments, hope becomes more than a word. It becomes fuel. Hope doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means trusting that the future holds something good, even if we can't see it yet. When I went through a hard time, someone told me, "You won't feel like this forever." And they were right. Pain passes. Things shift. Light returns. Hold on to hope. Even if it's small, even if it's fragile, that tiny hope can carry you through the darkest days. Episode 48. You are enough. Description: you don't have to prove your worth. You already have it. We're often told we need to be more successful, more attractive, more productive. And slowly, we begin to believe we're not enough. But here's the truth. You are enough. Not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You are worthy of love, respect, and rest right now. Not after you lose weight, get a job, or fix your life. Took me years to believe this. But once I did, everything changed. I stopped chasing approval. I started treating myself with kindness. Say it out loud, I am enough. And say it often until you believe it. Episode 49. How far you've come. Description: you may not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be. It's easy to focus on what's missing, what you haven't done yet, what goals are still far away. But take a moment to look back. Think about who you were 1 year ago, 5 years ago. Look at the growth, the lessons, the strength you didn't know you had. You survived things you thought would break you. You've learned things no school could teach. Progress isn't always visible day by day, but over time it becomes a powerful story. Be proud of yourself. Celebrate your journey. You've come a long way. Episode 50. This is just the beginning. Description: every ending opens a door to something new. Here we are, episode 50. And if you've made it this far, I want to say thank you. Thank you for listening, for learning, for growing. But this isn't the end. It's a beginning. Because everything you've heard, thought, and felt along the way is just the start of something deeper. You now have tools, awareness, reflection, language, inspiration. What you do next is up to you. Start writing. Start speaking. Start living more intentionally. And always remember, growth doesn't happen in big leaps. It happens in small, honest steps like these conversations we've had. Keep going. Keep learning. And know that your story is just getting started. And that brings us to the end of this podcast series. If you've listened all the way through, whether it was one episode or all 50, I want to say thank you. Truly, this journey has been about more than just learning English. It's been about reflection, growth, and becoming more aware of yourself and the world around you. You've practiced listening, expanded your vocabulary, and most importantly, you've given yourself time and space to think in English. That's a huge achievement. But this isn't goodbye. It's just a pause before your next step. Keep listening, keep learning, keep believing in your ability to grow. And whenever you feel stuck, tired, or unsure, come back and listen again. These words will still be here. Until next time, take care of yourself, speak with confidence, and never stop growing. Thanks for being here.